Okay. This is a short video on the issue of circumcision. Just expressing my opinion, sharing with you the research that I've done, the opinions of others, and just try to educate Americans a little bit more on this issue, because it seems like a lot of us just don't care to even know, and we should know. This is an issue that we should all learn about. And I'm sorry if I stutter. I'm trying to read directly from my notes to make sure I give you the correct information. And if I sound funny, it's because I'm sick, so just please excuse that. First thing I'd like to point out is I've noticed that one of the biggest reasons why parents say they want to circumcise their boys is because they say it prevents penile cancer. First off, only 10 in a million men get penile cancer, circumcised or not. It's very, very, very rare to contract penile cancer. And yes, studies have shown that in America, uncircumcised men are 3 times more likely to contract penile cancer than men that are circumcised. However, the American Cancer Society officials say that American men in general are more likely to contract penile cancer than countries that do not practice circumcision, which means there are more circumcised men with this cancer than uncircumcised men. And the second thing is, parents like to argue that if you circumcise your boy, it prevents STDs or UTIs or anything like that. And there have been no studies to prove that theory. You are at the same risk, cut or uncut, as the next man of getting the STD or UTI. It just has to do with keeping yourself clean and using protection when you have sex, and making sure that your partner is clean. If you are circumcised, you are not at a lower risk. You can still get a UTI if you don't keep yourself clean. You can get an STD if you mess around too much, or if your partner is not clean. And another thing is, people say that uncircumcised men enjoy sex more because the foreskin has as many nerve endings in it as your fingertip. But according to most men who get circumcised in adulthood, say that there's really no difference when it comes to sex. It just feels the same, circumcised or uncircumcised. So the sex issue just doesn't really even matter. And honestly, I don't think that's something you should be thinking about when it comes to your newborn baby. Is he going to enjoy sex when he gets older? And on a more serious note, though, every year 117 baby boys die because of circumcision. The causes include stroke, hemorrhage, and infection. Each year, about 44 boys die within the first 28 days of life from suffocation. 8 boys die within the first 28 days of car accidents, and 115 from SIDS, which is sudden infant death syndrome, meaning that circumcision, being at 117 deaths each year, is one of the leading causes of death in infant boys. And lastly, I know a lot of people say, well, I gotta circumcise my boy, everybody does it, and I want him to be normal, I don't want him to feel different in the locker room when he gets in high school, or blah 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 blah, whatever. Okay, even before this became a huge debate, before everybody was arguing whether or not to circumcise their boys, it was only 55% of boys in America getting circumcised. It was no 98% or 93%, just 55%. And ever since people have been studying it and looking into it and getting the facts, for the past several years, only 32.5% are circumcised, and more parents are deciding against it. So, what I've gathered from all this information, from what I've talked to doctors about, what I've talked to other people about, what I've researched, is that circumcision is just a cosmetic surgery. That's all it is. It is not medically needed. And I'm highly against it, especially since, come on, 117 boys die every year due to circumcision. It should be 0 boys dying. And clearly, it doesn't prevent STDs, it does not prevent UTIs, and it does not prevent penile cancer. So it is not medically needed. America is brainwashed, and it needs to stop. You need to get educated. But I'm done. Please leave comments about your opinion or whatever. Just don't argue with other people on the comments. Don't bash other people because it will be deleted. Just give your opinion on it. If you want to state whether or not you're circumcised and how you feel about it, go ahead. But I'm done now. So, yeah.